Hi, everybody. This is your friend Daniel Hutchins, and I'm back bringing back Spider Man Dan. Yes, I'm bringing back Spider Man Dan for the April 2022 returns. Yes, the April 2022 returns. Okay, so how this works is I'm going to be reading some articles while I'm dressed as Spider Man Dan. That's basically how it works. So, first, we just have to find an article about the comic book universe. And as tradition, I gotta take my glasses off and put my mask on. Okay? I only do Spider Man Dan on special occasions, but since I feel like I'm not doing anything, and because I'm probably gonna be busy during spring vacation, I figured you guys need an extra treat. So, you guys who are my faithful long time or new time subscribers, you are in for a treat because I am doing Spider Man Dan for you. And I know how much you like it. Okay, so we're talking about some stuff from our friend's Screen Rant. Moon Knight explains MCU's lack of supernatural stories thus far. So, Moon Knight has offered a potential explanation for the Marvel Cinematic Universe's lack of supernatural before Phase 4. He helped set up Blade and other missing characters. This is a couple hours ago, everybody. Warning, there are spoilers for the Moon Knight episode 2. So if you haven't seen Moon Knight episode 2, I'm reading this on your own risk. Phase 4 of Marvel Cinematic Universe is using more supernatural characters, and Moon Knight is provided an explanation as to why they haven't been featured before. Marvel Studios is using their post Avengers Endgame projects to expand various sections of the shared universe. We said this. Now, there's been an increased focus on new Earth based heroes, teases on more cosmic events, and introductions of the multiverse. The glimpsing at some mystical realms as well. Moon Knight serves as the late entry or an effort to the supernatural corner of the Marvel Cinematic Universe to further grow, while also Disney Plus series also is self-contained to a story. It also raises some questions about why Moon Knight and other supernatural characters haven't played this part in an overall narrative before. Okay, the Marvel Cinematic Universe connectivity is certainly one of the greatest strengths and reasons for continued success of the franchise. It also makes expanding areas of this very tough. So when Marvel announced plans for Eternals and story explaining what's been happening on Earth for 7,000 years, there are some immediate draw questions about why these superheroes didn't interfere with the prior Marvel Cinematic Universe events. Moon Knight and other Marvel plans for the supernatural in Phase 4 have raised some similar questions. Even with the new Blade cameo, and the Eternals has raised questions as to how he's been doing at this point. However, the Marvel Cinematic Universe lack of supernatural characters might have already been teased and explained from Moon Knight Episode 2. Okay, it is established in Moon Knight Episode 2 that normal people are not capable of seeing supernatural things. This begins because security camera footage of Stephen Grant, who's the guy running from the jackal and has appeared in episode 1, doesn't show the supernatural creature from the film. Now, later on, some civilians do not see the jackal, but Stephen fights as Mr. Knight. While this could have been a potential tease for him imagining the creature, this person got attacked by it and sees the outline of a face after smashing a bottle on it. So Moon Knight, Invisible Jackal, is so far the only example of a truly supernatural phenomenon piece, but it could also be a Marvel way of teasing the supernatural realm has always been a piece of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but hasn't been featured yet because the characters focused on couldn't see it. When the Marvel Cinematic Universe goes down a path to explain the sudden rise of supernatural characters in the Phase 4, it would further justify and explain all the other missing characters from before. It also mirrors that the explanation for Marvel Studios made for why magic wasn't featured before Doctor Strange, and 2016 movie gave sorcerers the ability to enter the mirror dimension to fight whatever was on the other side. But in fact, it was though through the rise of magic, the Mars threats also was initially viewed as an explanation as to why they didn't interfere with major Marvel Cinematic Universe events. It could also be a tease that can these individuals could see in supernatural realms, made to better justify the business to stop threats that are literally invisible to the most of humanity. Okay, Moon Knight has teased supernatural beings introduced in Blade, Werewolf by Night, Ghost Rider, and other supernatural characters into Phase 4. However, audiences are understanding question why vampires, werewolves, and other supernatural beings are popping up. Also, while MCU could find another explanation, this idea they've always been there and people just could not see them. It makes sense. It further allows those upcoming supernatural characters to operate on a different corner of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and give them more mythical existence. Again, guys, let me know your thoughts about this. Let me know your thoughts about this. I figured I'd share a little bit of why Moon Knight explains the lack of the supernatural from episode 2 of his series. If you've seen episode 2 of Moon Knight, also let me know in the comments below so that you guys who might be familiar with why Marvel Cinematic Universe is connecting with the supernatural sides of things, let me know. Again, let me know, guys. Let me know. And it actually does feel oddly comfortable under the mask today. I mean, I feel a little stuffy, but at the same time, it's for you guys. It's most importantly for you guys who don't get to see me, Spider Man Dan, on the channel that much. So, again, this is a special treat that I wanted to give to you guys. And again, I'm going to be doing 3 parts. Instead of just doing 1 part, I decided I'd do 3 parts for the Spider Man Dan of April 2022. That way, you guys get 2 more appearances of me in my Spider Man Dan suit, me, Spider Man Dan, for you guys on the channel Daniel Hutchins. Again, guys, I'm going to be talking about one more other thing, and then we're going to wrap it up after one more thing. You could kind of also count this as a screen rant double if you must. You want to know more about Samuel L. Jackson? Well, that's a good question because Samuel L. Jackson has a deep reason for still enjoying Nick Fury even after 14 years. Okay, everybody, you want to know more about Samuel L. Jackson? He explains why he loves playing the character Nick Fury after 14 years with the free Phase 4 appearances confirmed for 2022 and for 2023. This was a couple hours ago. Samuel L. Jackson explains why he loves playing Nick Fury after 14 years in the role. The actor has appeared in former S.H.I.E.L.D. director in 11 MCU movies, including cameo roles for Tony Stark in the Avengers Initiative for 2008's Iron Man. From the small screen, he is set to star on Disney Plus Secret Invasion sometime later in the year. He has also confirmed roles in both the Marvels and Ant-Man and Wasp: The Quantumania. Both are set to be in 2023. As a performer and a respectable actor, he's Brian Jackson as Nick Fury and inspired by bit of casting and surely helped the Marvel Cinematic become the box office juggernaut it is today. His screen time can fluctuate significantly from appearing from credit scenes from the movies like Captain Marvel, but for fans, he is prominent and a figure in the franchise as any by headlining all the superheroes. He's even though very little known in the story of Secret Invasion, the prospects of seeing Fury come back in the lead role for 6 more episodes has viewers excited. I would be excited too. Now, in an interview with Collider, who is another friend we use sometimes, Jackson has reflected on his long run of Nick Fury. He confirmed he still enjoys it so much that he's positioned the unquestioned leader of superpowered people. Despite not having any special ability himself, he makes his unique character very awesome to play. And being in the Marvel Universe is still meaningful for Jackson, who emphasizes his ongoing appreciation for comic books. You can check out his response below. Yeah, I love Nick Fury. Of course, come on. He's a guy who has no superpowers, who's in charge of people who have superpowers, and they let him be. That's something special about him. He's a leader of men that are very different in another kind of way. It's very satisfying to be part of the world that I admired for so long when I was a kid. I still buy comic books, I still go to comic book stores, I still read them, but to be honest, be able to be a character in that, it's the same way as when I was doing Afro Samurai or any of those other comic book characters. It means anyone or somebody or means something to be part of a cultural canon that people revere and they respect in another way. As Jackson had said, part of the magic of Nick Fury is that he never feels out of place in such a prominent role within a team of superheroes. As much as the character's intellect deserves more credit, the actor's screen presence is a principal reason for this. His perspective on being with the Marvel Cinematic Universe also has shown why he is so beloved by genre fans, who always relish the chance to see someone with a talent treat with material respected. Now, given that Jackson's Fury hasn't appeared in live action since Spider-Man Far From Home back in 2019, he was revealed to actually be vacationing in space this entire time. It is unclear what the multiverse happy MCU Phase 4 has in store for him. Marvel's roster of heroes is currently experiencing an overhaul, following departures of Stark and Steve. Now, again, with so many new players and yet to work together, it is possible the history might repeat itself. In 2012, The Avengers, Fury might have to turn Agent Coulson's death into an inspiration for a team to collaborate. The next big villain is Kang the Conqueror. He is confirmed for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, so a death of Fury himself can be at the hands to serve a purpose of this new cohort. Should that be the plan, Marvel Cinematic Universe fans can at least take comfort knowing there's a lot more Fury is still ahead in 2022 and 2023. Again, guys, I said this was going to be the last thing, but I'm going to keep going because Nick Fury is so cool. Okay, so MCU's Phase 5 New Heroes or Nick Fury's Worst Nightmare. Okay, guys, so Nick Fury has a hard time dealing with Tony Stark and the Avengers as it is, but things will get even more complicated when the arrival of the Phase 5 heroes. Okay. Nick Fury has to help assemble the Avengers, but the former director of S.H.I.E.L.D. has world institutions may not be prepared for a new arrival of heroes in Phase 5 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. More than a decade after Iron Man's post-credit scene, Fury has been seen through enough to secure 3 or 4 retirements. Even so, there's still time waiting for his character, including to have to deal with people as complicated as Tony was. Now, again, the next step in Fury's awesome MCU story is Secret Invasion. The Disney Plus series will adapt the comic book saga of the Skrull infiltration on Earth. Secret Invasion promises to dive the Skrull lore following in interesting takes from Captain Marvel took from shapeshifters, and could show more of Fury's newest hobby, the sword. Now, in addition, the Skrull conspiracy, new threats will emerge in the MCU for Phase 5 onwards, followed by inevitable arrivals of new heroes. Okay, Nick Fury's fear of super-powered beings, especially aliens, could pose a threat to Earth, made him assemble the Avengers and use the Tesseract to build weapons. From this very point, half the Avengers members didn't even sign the Sokovia Accords. Soon, Fury and world institutions would have to deal with a new family of superpowered beings. There will be also a non-governmental organization that gathers and trains mutants under an order of a single man. This happens to be the world's most powerful telepath. Again, even though the Avengers disassociated themselves from S.H.I.E.L.D. at the end of Avengers, there was a sense that the Earth Mighty's heroes were the most reliable for the government in the world to count on. The point of maximum tension between superheroes and institution was shown from Captain America Civil War, but that was pretty much all. So if the Avengers split over, signing the Sokovia Accords was enough to cause so much turmoil to the world. The arrival of 2 new major players, the Fantastic Four and X-Men, have potential to be more problematic. Now, unlike the Avengers, the Fantastic Four and the X-Men are closer to operating as families than the organization. Yet, they have firepower to rival the world's greatest armies. Not only this, people like Reed Richards and Charles Xavier aren't used to taking orders to prefer being the ones called the shots. MCU's version of the Illuminati in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness will also feature a version of Professor Xavier, already an example of this. Now, after a decade of dealing with just the Avengers, Nick Fury would have to learn how to work with Fantastic Four, X-Men, and all the rest of the mutants in MCU Phase 5. The end of the Infinity Saga closed many of the MCU storylines, but the Marvel Universe in the comics still has a lot more to offer. It has remained to be seen how long it will take for these regular people, the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, and the X-Men, to learn to all work together. Again, guys, let me know your thoughts about that. Let me know your thoughts about that. So I'm taking my mask off. But yeah, guys, so my dad's upstairs vacuuming. If you probably hear a little bit of rumbling noises, it's my dad vacuuming upstairs. But luckily I'm downstairs in my room in the basement. So yeah, it's going pretty good. Yeah, it's going good. So yeah, on a side note, guys, let me know your thoughts, and if you have suggestions on what I should talk about next for the next appearance of the return of Spider-Man Dan for April 2022, drop those ideas down in the comment below. If you don't have any ideas, that's fine. I understand. I'll just come up with my own. I'm usually pretty good at providing information for you guys. So I'll catch in with you guys later. See everybody. Bye.